Today marked the release of a pretty unique game on the Oculus Store, Phantom Covert Ops. I thought what better way to experience the game than to play in an actual kayak. Oh, this really feels like I'm in a kayak right now. I mean, I am in a kayak right now, but...
Zero-Two's helmet camera is live.
This feels awesome. I'll also be recording and posting a full playthrough, but here are some of my first impressions. Gaming science teacher, if you're watching, this is my new VR workout. This is really working the shoulders. Or maybe I'm just really out of shape. At first, that paddling motion was a bit of a strain on my shoulders. It felt a bit awkward, but the awkwardness passed in probably about 10 minutes, and after a while, I stopped noticing it at all. Okay, see if we can get to those weeds first. I actually did not expect that to work. So you can see if I go down here, I can push to the sides. I can push my kayak from side to side. That's amazing. It's amazing the fact that I didn't expect it, not that, that shouldn't be the case. Now, as you can see, I'm playing on a Vive Pro, so I'm not sure what this looks like in the Quest, but it looks absolutely beautiful on the Vive. Alright, now imagine if I shoot that. I launched this up in Revive and I didn't have any issues at all getting it to run, which is great because even though this is an Oculus exclusive, if you happen to have another headset lying around, you can give it a try in a Valve Index or a Vive Pro, and the controls map really nicely to the Valve Index controllers. The scenery is super dark, which probably favors the Quest because you don't really get very close to a lot of things to see the details, but the details you do see look absolutely beautiful in the Vive. The whole surrounding environment just had me captivated. I love just kind of looking around and seeing the distant buildings and the other artifacts, crash planes, all kinds of stuff that you could look at. There isn't a lot in the environment to interact with in the first mission, and while it might not seem exciting to watch, the whole time I was playing I was super focused and immersed, trying to make sure I wasn't detected. Whoa. By far my favorite part of the game was how natural the paddling actually felt. The kayak responded pretty much how I'd expect it to. Now, I'm not a pro kayaker, but I've been out enough that I understand the basic physics behind paddling, and I was impressed with how I could back paddle, take deep strokes, and even do fairly quick turns by angling the virtual paddle in different directions. Oh my. Turn. I'd love to see what a veteran kayaker feels about the paddle physics in this game and if they actually are as accurate as I feel like they are. There's a pretty simple waypoint system in the game, so you press one of your buttons and it shows you a little green dot where you should be headed. I didn't look for any sort of map in the menu and I didn't feel like I needed it either. So if you hold the button for the quick turn, you do a back pedal, that actually turns you really nice, just like a real canoe. Real kayak, I mean. Okay, I really want to take this light. Maybe because it's closer I'll be able to hit it. Uh-oh. Back up. I should have gone right when she was looking upwards. Things might get more complicated later in the game, but the first mission felt fairly linear. I wouldn't go so far as to say it was on rails, but there weren't a lot of options as to where to go. That didn't really bother me though. In many games, I feel obligated to explore every nook and cranny looking for secrets, but in Phantom Covert Ops, I felt like I could just focus on stealth and not worry about missing a power-up or some secret cache, and just enjoy the environment.
Here's the other target in the safe.
Should be showing a new objective marker on your tracking device.
Oh my, everybody seems to be looking for me now. Uh-oh. That seems bad. Now do I just wait? Aside from my arms being a bit tired at first, the game is extremely comfortable to play. This would be ideal for people new to VR given the high level of immersion and the low risk of VR sickness. Not once did I feel any sort of nausea, and I happen to be one of those VR players that while I feel like I've done a lot of VR, I still don't have my VR legs. In other words, I still get sick when I play games like Boneworks. The game mechanics were pretty straightforward as well. With little to no real learning curve, there's not much to think about. You have 3 weapons, a paddle, and binoculars. Everything was really intuitive. Not to say there won't be some challenges for the extreme gamer, just that it's definitely a noob-friendly game. I'm also really enjoying the voice acting so far. This is one of those details that really make a game stand out for me. Investing in great voice actors help keep me interested in the story, and so far I'm really happy with what I'm hearing. How am I gonna get through there? Okay, I think I've got to take out that light. Oh, yeah. Everything I've said so far is pretty positive, and I think considering what it's meant to be, Endreams have done a really great job in this game. However, if you're looking for something with the heavy physics like Boneworks, or a really deep story like Half-Life Alyx, or the close and gritty combat of The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners, the non-stop action of Hyperdash, I mean, you're not gonna find that here, but that's okay based on what I've seen so far. That's not what I was expecting either, which is why I'm still pleasantly surprised. I was expecting a game that took the limitations of the Quest and built an experience around those limitations that made you forget that you needed all those extra things that other headsets provide to enjoy yourself in VR. Then I hoped, and received, something I could still play via Link or on another headset to get a slightly better graphical fidelity in the same game. I mean, is that a bit of a weird compliment? You done good, given this was made with Quest in mind. Actually, you done really good given that this was made with Quest in mind. It's also worth mentioning that if you actually own a Quest, when you save your game on either your Quest, your Rift, whichever headset, you can then play that same save game on another headset. If I'm away from my whole setup, but I still have my Quest and want to play through a level or maybe just beat a specific challenge, I can toss on my Quest and keep going. I'm not sure how many other games really support that feature. There may be others, and I hope it's something we see more of. The final verdict? This is going to be one of the must-own titles on my list. If you like stealth games and have the patience for a slightly slower paced but very immersive game, this should be a must-buy for you too. I might update my thoughts on the game as I play through some more missions, and if anything changes significantly, I'll create a new review. Nice. I like it. This game is absolutely amazing. Hard to describe how immersive it is as I'm moving in the kayak. I mean, it feels real because I feel the kayak kind of tipping back and forth. Wow, this is awesome. Amazing. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoy anything I'm doing on this channel, consider subscribing. If you're already subscribed, thank you very much for your support. Hope to see you in VR.